WVEC-TV, Hampton.
And here we go.
This is Jeff McKay, ABC News.
Operation Iraqi Freedom beckons yet again this holiday season, and USS Harry S. Truman answers the call. Again, they were there on the front lines a year and a half ago when the war began, launching the first combat strikes on Iraq. Now they're doing it all again.
I love you!
It was mid-October when deployment day rolled around, and there was a pier full of sad faces at Naval Station Norfolk.
It's part of being in the military, part of being a military spouse. It comes with the territory, you just deal with it.
So deal they did, and far too soon the Truman Strike Group, 7,600 sailors strong, was on its way, eventually replacing the USS John F. Kennedy in the Persian Gulf and taking over the air campaign phase of the war. Everyone aboard knows there's an important mission to do, supporting U.S. and coalition forces on the ground, and they're proud of that work. But that doesn't make it any easier at this holiday time of the year.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. The one thing I love is waking up in the morning at Christmas time, and seeing my kids running around the house all excited and everything. I'm not going to be there for it, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but, we'll get through it.
Part of the emotion or the challenge, I guess I would term it as, that I'm dealing with primarily is, the kind of highs and lows of it, if you will. But the same challenge that can make me feel kind of down sometimes, not being with my family during the holidays, can also make me strong. I believe it builds a sense of community on the ship.
Each and every Truman sailor confronts the holiday blues in his or her own way.
It's pretty bad. It didn't hit me last time until actually the holiday season, and you call home on Christmas Eve, and that's when it hits you.
How do you cope? How do you deal?
You concentrate on work.
It's hard, missing, especially when the kids are little, but mine are grown now. The important thing is to stay busy on the ship with work.
For some, this will be the first Christmas away from home, but about 2/3 of the crew was here for Truman's last deployment, which also managed to include the holidays.
It was real hard. It was like my first Christmas I ever missed from home. It was rough.
It's all a brand new experience for the Truman's commanding officer, Captain Jim Gigliotti. Despite all his years as a naval aviator, he's never missed a Christmas until now. He feels the crew's pain.
Being away at Christmas can be a tough time, and we're very cognizant of that, and we try to make sure the crew is well taken care of. We want them to be focused on the mission, but we also know that thoughts can stray to the families, particularly over the holidays, and we try to allow them to do that. Just remember, some of us are going through those same thoughts and feelings, a proud yet bittersweet type of deployment in that regard, and we all would love to be home with our families, but we understand the importance of our job out here, and we have to get that done.
Well, I come out here every single day to visit him, because it gives me some comfort.
In the only way a mom knows how, Rosemary Toison stays close to her son Andrew by visiting his grave at Green Lawn Cemetery in Chesapeake, this day bringing him a Christmas poinsettia.
It does bring me some comfort knowing that he's with the Lord, and the Lord's going to watch over him and keep him out of harm's way.
But harm's way is just where Private First Class Andrew Toison found himself last May, when the 21-year-old was killed by hostile fire while on guard duty in Mosul. Hundreds of mourners turned out for the Western Branch High School graduate's funeral with full military honors. They're still paying their respects today.
And people that don't even know me had come up and hugged me and tell me how sorry they are because they're mothers and they have sons and they have daughters, and they're just hugging me, thanking me for what my son did, and that makes me feel real proud too.
Unfortunately, Andrew is just one of at least a dozen U.S. troops with Hampton Roads connections to die this year both in Iraq and Afghanistan.
When I hear about other soldiers getting killed over there, it does make me cry because it makes me think of him, and I'm saying to myself, oh God, now here's another family that's not going to have their son or daughter with them, and I can understand exactly how they feel.
For Rosemary, this Christmas is understandably tough. Her Western Branch home remains a kind of public shrine to Andrew, but she can't find much enthusiasm to decorate or otherwise celebrate the holidays this year.
I'm not doing any Christmas celebrating this year. of any kind. I just can't, it's just too soon. It's very hard not only being a holiday without him, but knowing that I'm going to be without him until I see him again when my time comes. So I just take it day at a time, come to the cemetery and see him, because even though he's not with me physically, he's with me in my heart.
So her plan is simple: to keep coming to this place every day and do her best to keep some kind of connection with her fallen son. It's all she can do.
It shows that I love him and that I haven't forgotten about him. And I'll keep coming out here every day that I possibly can, because I knew if the situation had been reversed and it had been me that had passed away, I'm sure Andrew would do the same thing for me, because him and I had a deep love for each other. You know, he loved me and I loved him, and everybody knew that.
The U.S. military currently has about 138,000 troops on the ground in Iraq, and the Pentagon plans to increase that number in the weeks ahead. 13 News military reporter Mike Gooding tells us how they're holding up this holiday season.
Well, Joe, another Christmas season is at hand, and thousands of Hampton Roads military personnel are on assignment, far-fetched places all over the world, including this, Camp Anaconda, Iraq. It's the major fuel convoy hub for U.S. and coalition forces, smack in the middle of the Sunni Triangle in a place called Balad. This base is all about logistics, getting the needed supplies to the troops out in the field, and all those convoys need protection. That's where the Stryker Brigade out of Fort Lewis, Washington comes in.
I'm definitely proud of being over here. It's a great way to serve my country and know that I'm protecting my family and friends back home, keeping them safe.
Private First Class Mike Rust is a graduate of Oscar Smith High School in Chesapeake, and he is a driver of the 19-ton, 8-wheeled light armored vehicle. It seems military service was in Rust's blood.
My dad was in the military, my grandpa and my mom's dad. It's kind of like a family tradition to be in the military.
So far, so good for you?
So far, so good. Couldn't have been a happier choice.
One key to keeping the troops safe: fortifying their vehicles. At a shop called the Skunk Works, they attach half-inch thick plates of steel to Humvees and transport trucks in a vital process called up-armoring.
It is very important. It protects soldiers on the road. We had first-hand experiences where people, if these vehicles weren't armored, they would not be here today.
Army Specialist Charles Johnson knows what he's talking about. He took shrapnel to his face and hip in a convoy mortar attack, saved only by his vehicle's up-armoring.
I was scared the first time, and I was scared when I got hit, but I've been back on the road since, and everything's going all right.
So the war rages on, and America's sons and daughters do what they can to stay safe in Iraq. And here at the holidays, they do their best to not dwell on what they may be missing back home. Some take it all in stride.
I've only been home for Christmas. I've been in the Army 6 years. I've been home for Christmas once. The whole time that I've been in 6 years, I've been overseas. So it's about usually just about the same way. And then it's gonna change.
8,000 miles from home, the USS Harry S. Truman is providing what the Navy likes to call presence with a purpose. Standing watch in the Persian Gulf, launching airstrikes over Iraq in support of U.S. and coalition forces on the ground.
This is my father. He was the youngest. Now, he was not an officer.
Snapshots of his seafaring relatives are the only family that Captain Leo Filardo has right now on the Truman. He's the chief engineer, and it's his job to keep the 96,000-ton aircraft carrier moving. He doesn't have much time to reminisce, as befits a man with 3 decades plus time in a Navy career that's winding down. He knows there's still work to do, Christmas or no Christmas.
When the call comes and it's at the holiday season, I've missed many, you kind of have to balance those emotions. Of course I miss my family. I will tell you, it doesn't get any easier. Here we go.
So back in Norfolk, we decided to visit Filardo's Larchmont home and show the tape of his interview to his wife Kathy and his daughters Nicole and Danielle.
Of course I miss my family. I will tell you, it doesn't get any easier.
Just the sight and sound of Leo brightened their day briefly until they remembered it was just an image on TV.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to be happy. I mean, you try your best, but it's still depressing. You know, you just have to make the best of it. And, you know, he's doing what he loves.
This Christmas is a little different because we know it's the last one that, you know, he's going to be gone. So it's
it's still hard, but on the other hand, it's like, it's been years and years that he hasn't been here, so we know that next year he'll be here.
And though Kathy considered briefly not bothering with decorating for Christmas with Leo away again this year, she eventually relented.
We know that this is his last one. It will be the last Christmas that I spend without him. Of course, it's gonna be sad, but you just kind of go on because you can't stop living because your husband or the main character in your life right then is gone. So like thousands of other Hampton Roads military spouses, this and every other Christmas, Kathy and the girls will simply carry on and hope for that very special Christmas phone call. But it's hearing their voice and stuff, even if you talk about, the shutter fell off the house or the sink's leaking or whatever, you just like hearing the voice.